All right, so side control 3, also commonly called judo press. So from this position, we're still in side control, but we've gone from our side control 2, where we have knee in, head control, underhook control. From this position, we're gonna hold on to this underhook control. We're gonna come down and bring this hand to get some arm control, and then we're gonna sit through almost like we're sliding into a baseball bag, right? So from right here, this leg comes back, and this leg comes through. So we're sitting our hips towards the guy's head. In side control 1, we have our hips facing the guy's foot. In side control 2, we have our hips square on the guy. In side control 3, we have our hips facing the guy's head. So just to review all of that real quick, side control 1, our hips are facing the guy's feet, right? Hips in that direction. Side control 2, I'm gonna square my hips up right here, facing in that direction. They're flat down on them. Side control 3, from right here, I control this arm, kick this leg back, slide this leg through, and I'm basically in the reverse of side control 1. Just like in side control 1, I wanna make sure that my legs aren't together like this. I wanna make sure this back leg has a post, it's together. Again, Dan just bridges me in this direction, sort of does a Turkish sit up into me, or get up into me, and all of a sudden he's literally in side control 2 on me. So in side control 1, when you get rolled, it's bad. In side control 3, if you get rolled without your post with your leg, it's really bad, because Dan will literally land in the side control that most people are comfortable in, right? So this is a very strong attacking position, but if you're uncomfortable with your balance, you're not gonna use it very much. The key is you just have to keep a leg back like this, so when Dan tries to do the Turkish get up on me, I can drive in, pick my hips up a little bit, get my weight back on him, right? So from this position right here, we're just gonna control him basically by keeping pressure pulling up on the guy and pulling up on his arm, and then making sure that we have our hips off the mat a little bit, right? So from this position right here, this hand is still gonna be cupping his shoulder, just like in side control 2. This hand, instead of cross facing here, is gonna ideally grab onto either above his elbow or onto his gi material near his elbow if we're in the gi, and we're gonna cup and pull him in, and I'm gonna pull this arm up, right? So this kind of spreads his body. This arm is pulling him in over here, this arm is pulling him over here, so I'm pulling him up off the mat, and I'm like pulling his body almost in opposite directions right here. From here, my ribs and like my lat are across his body, making the contact instead of the middle of my chest, but I'm still making contact basically with the middle of his chest like I am in side control 2. So from right here, I have him pretty stretched out. From this position here, if I wanna make this really uncomfortable, I'm just gonna pick my hips up off the mat a little bit, way more pressure on you, right? So from right there, super uncomfortable position, great for controlling the guy. A lot of the time, this is where I'm gonna go to sort of roast the guy for a minute before I start setting up my submissions. So from side control 2, right here, it's a super easy transition. This hand stays in the same spot. It's gonna go right here. I guess if the guy's really bucking, you might put it on the mat for a minute, but it's gonna return there really quick. This hand right here is gonna slide back, grab onto the elbow material, kick the leg back. He's still pretty pinned from this position. I have a lot of pressure on his chest when this leg goes back. There's actually more. So from right here, when I get here, my pressure's all going straight into his chest. So he's gonna stay pretty well pinned while I bring this leg under here, and then you just have to make sure this leg comes back pretty quick. So if the guy explosively sits up into you, you can plant your leg right there, right? And then to really roast the guy, pull up on this side, sort of pulling straight up, pull up here, stretching him out, and lift your hips up to just put all your pressure from your whole body weight directly into one spot on the guy's chest. Let's move with your head in this direction. Yeah, in this direction. Here. And then we'll actually do one in the opposite direction also, just to sort of a unique position. So from right here, side control 2, we have it cupped, we grab the guy's elbow, leg straight back, leg through, kickstand, up on the shoulder, up on the arm, hips off the mat. If you get your hips too far in this direction like this, like if your chest goes too far forward, you get your hips up, Dan can roll me in this direction, and it's gonna be super bad, right? Obviously posted, because otherwise this would be way off the camera, but again, he'll land in side control. So you wanna make sure your weight is still pretty distributed right in the middle, right there, right there, right there. Try to roll me now. Yeah, so if I'm right here, it's gonna be fine. If I'm right here, like my hips going into him instead of my chest, he's gonna roll me. And then let's do one more if we head in that direction, just because there's a lot going on in this position. All right, so here we are, regular side control. We still have the cup grip here. This hand comes out, grabs the elbow. My chest is still heavy on him. This leg kicks back, this leg kicks through, kickstand, cup the arm or the shoulder, pull the arm, keep my hips off the mat, make sure that I'm low enough that he can't roll me in that direction. I'm good there. If I'm up here and I feel myself going, I'm in the wrong position. Slide back down if you don't get rolled. Foot on the mat, right there. You're in a good position. side control 3.